Can I share a secret with you? Your unhealed pain is actually choosing your relationships. So let's talk about that.
Elevate with Monique. Elevate. Elevate with Monique. Elevate.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Gracefully Elevating with Monique. And of course, I am your hostess, and I'm so delighted that you have decided to stop by. Now, all this month, we have been talking about the various chapters in Peace Beyond Your Pain, which is my book project that I have officially launched. And so I'm so excited about that. But today, we are actually talking about the type of relationships and how they are a reflection of where we are in our lives, and in some cases, a reflection of the pain that we may have experienced in our life. Now, the reason I say this is because, what is the saying? You attract who you are, right? And so for me, at a time in my life when I was going through my journey of finding peace beyond my pain, healing beyond, the traumatic experiences I had gone through in my life, what I realized at some point is that when I looked around, my relationships were shallow, my romantic relationships were toxic. I had frenemies, um, and it just was not a good set of people that were feeding me and me feeding them in my life at that time. And I couldn't understand for a while, like, why this was. Why do I keep dating the same person? Why do I keep attracting these people who are backstabbers and who really aren't my friends, but they smile in my face and then they talk about me behind my back, or they don't have my back when I really need them? Why do I keep attracting these people? And what I realized is that my pain was so deep and it was so embedded that all I could attract was brokenness from other people. My brokenness was attracting their brokenness into my life. And so my relationships, they were toxic. You know why? Because I was toxic at that time. And no matter how much I tried to love them, no matter how much I tried to give to them, I couldn't give from a place of wholeness, which meant that they weren't receiving it in a place of wholeness. It is interesting how at that time in my life, the guys that I dated, they were manipulators, they were verbal abusers. They didn't appreciate who I was. They liked the idea of me, but they didn't really value me. But guess what? The pain in my life, I was a manipulator. I was, not valuing myself. I lacked boundaries and things that protected me from having those type of people in my life. And so I was a magnet to that stuff. It was just, it kept finding its way. The friendships that I have, they were drama filled. All the conversations were about drama and, things that just didn't serve any value in my life. And when I looked around and I started to acknowledge my part in how I attracted these people into my life, it was a rude awakening because I had to contend not with them, because they eventually would weed themselves out. I had to contend with me. I had to have a long, hard conversation with Monique to say, girl, you attracted these people. You let them into your space because of who you are and who you've shown up as and who you've attracted based on your brokenness, based on your own pain. And I had to make a decision. You have to make a decision when you realize that there are things that are toxic in your life that you actually don't want. And the interesting part about this is, as you start to find peace beyond your pain, find the healing, and do the work in order to release certain things, you'd be surprised how, in many cases, you don't have to remove anything or anyone. It will fall away on its own. You don't have to do anything except say, Lord, take everything and anyone who is not aligned with where I am going, with the peace that I am calling into my life, with the healing that I am implementing into my own, spirit, emotions, mind, body, soul. And you just sit back and watch. You watch. It's literally going to happen just like that. You don't have to do a thing. You don't have to say a word. Now, you have to be ready for that. Because when things start to fall away, they don't feel good all the time, especially if they're relationships, if they are experiences that you've been so used to for so long. Oh, it's going to hurt. It's going to make you question some things. But I promise you, beyond that, there is peace, there is beauty, there is more, there is elevation for you. You just have to make the right decision. You have to make the decision that's right for you. Okay. So I want you to think about patterns in your relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, family relationships, even your coworkers in your work environment, your team that you work with. Think about the patterns that you are seeing continuing to show up in your life. And then ask yourself the hard questions. Am I contributing to this? Am I allowing this to happen? Or is this a reflection of the true peace or brokenness that is in my life? And then you start to just chip away little by little at the things that you no longer want in your life. You learn how to heal those things. In Peace Beyond Your Pain, I give you strategies on how to actually start to heal those areas in your life. I also give you ways and prompts to think about so that as you are implementing new strategies in your life, you can identify these things, these toxic relationships that you no longer want to have in your space. It's just that simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. I love that saying. It's simple, but it's not easy, but you can do it. If you want to find peace beyond your pain, you absolutely can do this work. Now, I want you to do me a favor. Actually, I want you to do you a favor. I want you to find the link somewhere in this video. I want you to purchase your copy of Peace Beyond Your Pain. And sis, this is not a purchase for me. Yes, it supports me, but this book, this workbook is truly created to help you find peace beyond your pain. And then once you purchase your book, share this video with someone that you know can benefit from finding their own peace beyond their pain. When we find ways to make ourselves better, sometimes we have the tendency to want to gatekeep. We are not gatekeeping, because one person being healed leads to two people being healed, leads to three people being healed. And can you imagine what this world would be like if we had more healed, happy, whole, peaceful people in our lives and in this world? How different it would look. And if we can start that, then we can share with others for them to also start that journey as well. Now, if you are new to the channel, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the type of content you are going to receive here at Gracefully Elevating with Monique. I am a personal elevation strategist. I provide strategies. I provide community. I hold space for women just like you who are ready to just walk into your authenticity and true healing so that you can experience new levels of personal elevation. If you are returning, I want to say thanks, sis, for stopping by. I love you. I don't take your presence. I don't take your comments for granted. And I want to say thank you so much for stopping by again. Don't forget, drop a comment below with something that resonated with you in this video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Elevate with Monique. ELEVA. T